Hello, once again, dear viewers. Welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling messages from your higher selves, from spirit, from the divine, to get a glimpse or an energy reading on what this autumn season might hold for you in career, changes in finances, in love, relationships, or just in general. And whatever you're doing during this time, this message is for you and it's timeless in general. And even if you're not catching this during the autumn season or at time of recording, just take what resonates because this could even apply to something that is changing within the next 3 or 4 months. But again, take only what resonates. And I want to thank you for being here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It does help my channel, and I just appreciate you being here. Um, I'm kind of getting this. Okay, so there's been a little bit of challenges that have been coming up. At time of recording, we just got through the September harvest moon, full moon, and we're going into eclipse season. So I have been feeling there's a lot of stress and strain on the collective. A lot of things are kind of coming to light and falling through. And if you've been going through that, I'm going to be putting another reading out soon. Um, kind of in regards to that situation. But for now, some of you actually might be working with the Fae, or some of you are new to this. That is a common theme I'm seeing with some of my readings is I'm getting a lot of newcomers to spirituality, as well as people who have been here for a while and are weathered and seasoned spiritualists. So the Fae have been really coming through a lot more. And this also pertains to a recent reading I have done with the mushrooms, because for some reason, this morning before I sat down to record, I kept seeing a specific type of mushroom. I'm not sure what it is, but it was small and white. It's the type you can eat. So it is an edible mushroom. So, like for cooking. But it was interesting seeing that. I mean, also hearing you're finding common ground with thieves and enemies, or you are going to potentially come to some sort of consensus with a group of people in the near future. If you have been going through some sort of battle, fight, or legal issues, there's going to be some closure. Some of you, it might come around the end of the fall season, either Sagittarius, or it's going to be coming to some sort of conclusion during Libra season. I'm not seeing a lot when it comes to Scorpio season for some reason. The collective feels like it's going through an upheaval right now, and over the next few months it's going to settle down and even out Scorpio into Sagittarius season. But Libra and the next full moon, I'm hearing, into the worm moon, interestingly enough, there seems to be some sort of catharsis happening within the collective, within you, within a certain type of flow, and an understanding of what had to be done. Some of the messages that has come up recently for me has to do with the biblical teachings, and you don't have to be a Christian or part of an organized religion to kind of understand some of the metaphors here. But the two stories that have been coming up that pertain to the season are the tale of Jonah and the whale, as well as the book of Job. And the specific messages that are in like that were being highlighted to me, at least the morals of those stories, have to do with the divine justice system, God being in control. That if you do consider yourself to be a more spiritual person or a teacher in a spiritual sense or just in general, that the tale of Jonah and the whale says that you're not here to teach those who know, you're here to teach those who don't know. And now teaching doesn't have to be like proselytizing. It doesn't have to be going out there and spreading the message of any religion. It has to be like people cannot make informed decisions unless they are given the right, correct information to act upon it. If you are a teacher and you're going out there into the world, you are giving accurate information with intent to the people who need to hear it. And sometimes the people who need to hear it are going to be verbosely argumentative and not. They don't want to hear it because it's too painful to realize they've been lied to. But to give the truth to people, to spread the message of this is what's going on, you need to hear this. And this might apply to some of you who have been having struggles in your career or even in your family. But as long as you share the truth, as long as the truth is known with the intention of love, then people can make an informed decision. And that was the whole point kind of the story of Jonah, is he was a prophet and God was like, okay, these people are saved. They already know about me. Go to this other place. They don't know how to live their lives. And like, they don't know this information. You need to share it with them. And Jonah didn't really want to do that. So it's kind of like that, so if that's applicable to you, then this is a time and season where you might even reframe and change your attitude on how you go about going into other places, going into other fields, or even just how you approach your family. Like, it is up to them to choose what to do with the information. And this is a theme that has been repeating. So you might have been some of the viewers who have come from my previous readings. The other message from the book of Job is basically God is in control, and God being the universe, and all of us are connected and working together. But sometimes really horrible and unspeakable things happen beyond our comprehension and understanding, and God really holds the truth. And the universe is beyond our understanding as well. We don't see the bigger picture, but the trust in the universe and the universal laws of karma and attraction is basically what I take away from that book of Job. It's like this conversation between God and what is essentially like this person who is challenging the will of and faith of Job. And I know I'm kind of paraphrasing, but everything is taken from him, and God is trying to highlight to Job that he is in control of everything. And now, literally, God isn't doing bad stuff to the world. We have free will and choice to do bad stuff, but also to tie it in with Jonah, if we do not know what the right choice is that our free will? And I just want to kind of leave you with that thought. And if you're a philosopher out there, just take that with you because that might apply. But I'm going to get into the reading because that's a big message that seems to be coming through for some of you for this season. Some lucky numbers or numbers that might be popping up or appearing around this time is the number 5, 6, 22, 77, 31. The colors, a lot of autumnal colors like red, rusty brown, yellow, and specifically like pumpkin orange were coming out. I got an image of leaves falling. So some of you might be going to see the leaves changing, touring some sort of area, and even going on trips to like mazes, pumpkin patches, and that might be a local thing, but some of you might be traveling to those places or going to maybe even Salem or events in your area. And Salem, Massachusetts is a great place to go during the Halloween time. But I'm also getting, if you live in the Midwest or if you're not in the United States, there's a lot of celebration around that time. Where you're just kind of almost celebrating life more. Because I saw someone putting together like a wreath to put on their door, doing arts and crafts with pine cones and leaves, and working with children to do that too. If any of you are parents, maybe you might be going out and celebrating a little bit more. If they're old enough to even go out. I was also seeing orchids. Oh, sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's confirmation. I was seeing orchids and something about housewarming or a birthday. It's possible some of you might be either going to a new home, finalizing a sale on a new home, and having a housewarming gift. If that is a tradition where orchids are given, let me know in the comments because that was very interesting. That might be a specific thing or a message for a holiday in regards to birthday parties and celebrations. or if you are expecting or having a bridal, ooh, oh, if you are getting married, this is a good season to do it. Well, that's interesting. That's going to be a side message, either in the fall or a spring Easter wedding. I'm hearing specifically if those of you are getting married or if you're having a baby shower. Okay, well, that's for a few of you, it might be because I just saw an image of a bride at a bridal shower, and then I saw an image of a woman at like a baby shower. So yeah, or you're giving birth to something. It could be like Empress energy, but we're gonna just take a look at the overall, I guess, theme of this autumn fall season for you. What is coming up? Yeah, no, no more. Okay, I heard no more transactional relationships. The Justice card. Ooh, okay, no. See, I don't know if I said this. I know it came up when I was meditating today. Um, your angels are watching over you, by the way. I know that both angels, Michael, Raphael, are watching over the collective recently. There's a lot of healing, there's a lot of justice. If you've been finalizing some sort of contract, this is your confirmation that it's coming through and it's going to be a win win. You're going to be basically given back what you had given. Okay, now I'm getting a song. I'm going to write all songs I receive in the description below, but only go to them if they resonate. But I think it's called You Get What You Give, you know? So it really is about karma and law of attraction as well. But you doing the right thing. And see, this is literally the book of Job. This is what I'm saying. It's like, it's about the divine justice system. Like the universal justice system doesn't work in the same timing or with the mortal justice system because it's not always fair and equal. And I literally said this verbatim. This showed up in the same position in a previous reading. So if you came from that reading, you are in a good place because what I'm seeing is not only are you overcoming fears that you're not going to receive what you need. And if you were the people who were trying to find a home and someone kind of like outbid you or someone was trying to sabotage you, like a family member or someone you knew was not wanting you to go out there and live on your own, there's good news. Like something new is going to come in. And what I'm also hearing, it wasn't more than you could handle. At times it seems like life gives us more than we can take, and we give more than we receive. But the thing is that once we allow the universe to kind of work itself out and we surrender and trust with the flow, just like with the book of Job, he got back like tenfold what was taken and better. Don't cling on so tightly to what you think you want. Get what you really deserve, which might be 10 times better than the thing you thought you wanted. And what you deserve is to have a peaceful home life and to have a peaceful family. So if you were that collective that was trying to search for something like a home, you're going to be getting it. If you're not from that reading, then this just has to do with you building a home life for your family. If you're pregnant, like being able to find affordable care even and get your needs met. Like if you're trying to make a registry for a bridal shower, like this could have to do with that. Or if you're looking for like even a healthcare provider for your family, like there's something to do also with your local justice system suddenly being on your side when it seemed like they weren't before. Because if you've been on the straight and narrow, fair and true, and working with the divine as well, whether or not you know it, it has been working out fairly for you, even if the people in your environment weren't. It will work out. What I'm saying is this is the best news and clarification I can get for any of you who have been struggling either with external battles, with unfairness, with injustice. Like the universe is going to give back to you. The universe is going to get you out of transactional relationships and into reciprocal ones. This is very big and promising news. Some of it might not happen. It might not happen all at once in the coming months, but it feels like this is a catalyst for a season of change where the transactional nature you were once in is falling through, and you're entering into a time of fairness and equal give and take. And sometimes it just has to do with letting go of something. Not giving in. Sometimes you do have to give in to someone who is argumentative and cut your losses, but the universe finds a way to replace that, and with more. So there's some sort of at least beginning to divine justice. You might see it slowly appear in your life, because it's not going to be dumped on you all at once. Also, God wants me to, okay, one of my angels told me to mention that the name Jonah means dove, and dove means peace. So you're coming into a time and age of peace. It's sort of like the storm has faded, the floodwaters are receding. This isn't going to happen like it did before. And if it does happen again, whatever has been going on in your life, you're going to be able to handle it more than ever, because you are older and wiser, and you understand that it works out. When we deal with like trauma healing and therapy, it's pattern recognition. If we were born into an environment that has taught us nothing, and no one is safe, nowhere is safe, it takes a force of will and effort to recognize a pattern in the opposite direction. So let's say, for example, if you only knew that going home was not a good place to go, and you didn't know what to expect when you got there, to unlearn that is to face and challenge yourself to experience situations in which the pattern is you are safe and recognized, and that becomes your new normal. But it takes a little bit of, because you were indoctrinated into believing the chaos was safety, and bad attitudes were love, let's just say. To unlearn that takes a long time, and it's a force of will. You have to unlearn patterns. So that came up for a specific reason. I'm not entirely sure, because I kind of lost where I was going with that, but it's just about allowing the universe to basically rewire and retrain your brain to believe and trust that it will work out. Okay, no, that was the thing. I kind of lost the train of thought. That happens sometimes. It didn't go off the rails. I was still there, but for some reason I blanked out for a second. Okay, now I'm seeing so some of you might be opening your third eye right now and being bombarded with visions and messages that you cannot control, and that's okay. I'm there with you. For example, like I've been kind of dealing with that right now, because I've been opening up my awareness a little bit more, and I'm blocking certain channels, but that also means that there's like the floodgates coming through. But I was really staying on track. It has to do with your learning to trust the universe, basically. The older and wiser you get, when these situations happen before, just like Job, you can be like, okay, the next time this happens, I'm not going to fear losing everything. I'm not going to fear if it's going to come back. I'm just going to trust that this is happening for a reason, and God is in control. And it really is just that. It's the elimination of attachments and abandonment wounds as well. So you're not being abandoned by anyone, even if your family left you, even if you were betrayed in some way, which, I want to say, I'm very sorry if that happened to you, and it probably is very upsetting. So that's what I see. It's a lot and intense, but that's the overall energy. And it could also be just between the time you see this reading and the next 6 months, 12 months. It doesn't have to be all at once. It could be over the next year, but there's a catalyst happening, and slowly and surely you're going to be reintegrating a way of life and relearning something new, because it takes consistent effort. Your life may not change in a day or a year, but it's going to start with the season, with a lot of these things and transactions falling through, and then some coming back. So whatever you have set in motion, whether this was a group of people, or, a contract you made, or if you are getting married, which I want to say congratulations, or anything that you're trying to set up for your future, congratulations, it's going to work for you. And anything that fell through in the past, something better is replacing it, like tenfold, I keep hearing. twofold or tenfold. So you're not going to fear losing. Oh my, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay, so I was seeing a pregnant woman wearing white. Okay, so I wanted to clarify. This is actually the career portion. I was going to take a look at career and then love. So this is like career and finances and love. You know, I'm also hearing, okay, there's a lot coming through. I got excited because I saw a woman wearing white. So like newlyweds and then getting pregnant and like a young couple. But then I was feeling Empress energy. Like, okay, I heard the phrase boss up and boss up, not bitch out. Okay. But you can bitch out too. Okay. So, well, that's interesting. The singer, the artist Janelle Monae came up. Oh, wow. Okay. So some of her songs came up. One of them was I Like That. So it feels like you're just going to be owning your own empire. And like, this is just a start of something new, right? It doesn't have to be a pregnancy. I'm a little bit excited. I'm also seeing a dog. So some of you either have a dog or you might be getting one if you have children. Now's a good time to be getting that. Yeah, I'm hearing after all this upheaval, something good is finally happening. You're bringing this into fruition. And you're not, so the red color in this specific deck has to do with the lifeblood of creation. And we're looking at the Empress, which is the culmination of a mother figure. It is the combination of all the queens in the traditional tarot. And she is basically the embodiment of all those elements to bring together something to create something beautiful. And another song is coming up. I'll write down. I'm getting a little bit more music than usual. Well, I usually get music, but lately I hadn't been getting a lot of songs. So if you work with music as well, when it comes to channeling messages, and music is the language of angels, so you might be working. I'm also hearing the phrase, what is that? Telemetry? Telemetry. Put that in the comments if you know what that means. I'm going to look it up later. That's interesting. Social cues coming through. So the color of red in this deck has to do with fire as well. It's reclaiming that power and stepping into that and reclaiming your voice. So in terms of career, this is some sort of foreboding proposition coming through, I heard. Foreboding, oh, you might be in the movie or music industry. Check all doors before you look behind them. Make sure you're locking your ideas inside until the right one needs to see them. There's some things you might need to keep to yourself. I'm hearing there's also going to be a change of pace in how you manage your work-life balance. If you are young parents and you're going to work, or you're even going to school or college, because some of you might be in your mid-20s having children or being pregnant and in college or in school, you are focusing on your career and finances, but this is a time of balance for you. You are entering into a phase of your life where you are more the boss of your own life. If you are stay-at-home parents, mothers, that is still a full-time job and career. Like, don't get it twisted. Y'all parents out there, that like, you're doing 2 full-time jobs maintaining this family and home, and you deserve to have that balance and the credit for just being here and serving the planet to raise the next generation. Like, that's a service, y'all. You know, the generation of light bringers also, I'm hearing. So you're serving the queen. You're serving the queen. I love that. I just got really giddy because I saw the Empress, and it's like, I'm really excited for you because this is all kind of coming through. You might even be feeling this excitement. Okay, I heard you're going from fear and rage from being belittled to feeling this joy and excitement. Some of you even might have kids in high school who are starting up theater or going to special classes. Like, I'm seeing field hockey. If you did like any sport in school, your children might actually participate in that, or you're just going to see glimpses of also your future career and the work that you do right now. Okay, that's interesting. There's a lot coming through. What is happening is you are managing your work-life balance, and your career is not really the main focus or issue. You can do whatever you want to do, and money management might be something you're focusing on. And I'm hearing some of you had parents that were really strict, and now you're kind of free. They made you feel financially irresponsible for spending time and energy on you as well as the ones you love. And just know that that is also kind of a trauma response. But you are allowed to do whatever the frick you want with your time and energy and money. Like, there's no entitlement fee. Okay. If anybody comes to your door and judges you for how you live your life, you're going to have to charge an entitlement fee. And so okay. I like that. That is a choice, spirit, but we'll roll with that. I love sometimes what comes out of my mouth, and there is this giddiness and joy, and I'm just going to flow with it. Like, also, if some of you have a Cancer moon, this is good news for you. You're going to be glowing up as well, whether you're starting a family or not. And whether you know it or not, you are gorgeous. I want to say for some of you. And yes, this is still focusing on career and finances, but a lot of this feels like you are working for you. The universe is working for you too. And whatever you're doing now, or whatever you choose to do in the future, is a little bit more in alignment with you, because it's like what is happening in your life right now is everything's falling into place. It doesn't matter what you do, you're going to find that abundance. And it doesn't matter what you choose to do with your time. You're pouring love into it, basically. I'm getting this feeling of joy, this feeling of love, and this almost matronly energy, whether you identify as male or female, because there are a lot of like dads out there who are the best parents, like who are superstars as well. You could be co-parenting with your best friend, and I'm hearing mates for life. Like a puppy dog love, like you have a partner and you're raising a child together, you adopted them. Your home is like this free place. It's loving, it's caring, because you choose to put that love into it. I'm also hearing some of you you puppy dog love, but I heard the phrase cocker spaniel, so some of you might have a dog that's like that, or have a dog that passed on that's like that, or with you, who knows. Yeah, so I'm getting a lot of positive energy. Like, I'm seeing peppermint, I'm seeing bubble gum, I'm seeing people drinking tea. There's a lot in your future that is coming through you during this time, and it's essential that you release any fears or worries. And I'm just getting nothing but good news from this reading. The only warning I did get is that when you're stepping into this time, shadows from your past might appear. Like, there might be like, for an overall clarifier for this reading, I'm getting the Seven of Wands. So, like I said, if it feels like, if love, career, finances, your life in general feels like it's something you can't handle, just know God knows you better. You might think you can't handle this, but to clarify this Empress, like, you can absolutely. Oh, handle. Yeah, I was told upright. You can handle this. You're also the Queen of Wands, by the way. You have the Knight of Wands. You have the Queen of Wands. So there was some fire attached to this. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful mirroring love struck energy as well. Falling in love with life. There's a lot of red here. So that is what I'm saying, that in this deck, this tarot deck, the Dark Woods deck, that is all about life, blood, passion. It's what gives us that flow of magic and inspiration. And it's just very beautiful. Like, I don't know what else to say. I think I'm just going to leave it right there, because I'm not getting any specific about career predictions other than you're managing that work-life balance, because you're putting a dash of passion into your life. And it's going to be this is a very promising and good reading, and I really hope that this is true for so many of you. When it comes to love, on the other side, we're seeing the Chariot. I keep hearing the phrase, it's more than you can handle. You might be feeling that way, but God will never deal you a hand you can't hold. Like, you can do it. You even might be learning things about yourself you never knew you could do. But sometimes, God kind of does put you in a position to kind of teach you something about yourself. So again, with that tale of Jonah and the whale, God is forcing you to learn a lesson because he wants you to see you. He wants you to see you as this empress, this beautiful person, this higher energy, as this justice card, like an arbiter of justice. Like, you want something and you're doing everything right. So the universe is like, we're going to give something better to you. We're going to give back to you. And you might not feel like it's owed to you, but in a weird way, it kind of is. When you're asking for something, you're working hard toward it, it's yours. You're manifesting it. You're embodying it. If someone takes that from you, that's not their right to do. They have no right to steal that from you. God finds a way to give it back. He wants you to know there's nothing you cannot handle, loves. You are going through this process and maybe alone, so you can know your inner strength and truth of who you are. You are this beautiful empress. You are this beautiful light of love and authenticity, and you can do this. There's nothing you cannot do. I'm just going to say that out loud. If you feel like this is more than I'm going to handle, I'm not judging you. I love you with all my heart because I know what it's like to feel that way. And then I also want to say, I know what it's like to say to myself and be told you cannot run this marathon, and then see myself crossing the finish line, even if it's the last one, and realizing what I've been told was a dang lie. What I was telling myself was a lie. I convinced myself I couldn't do something, and I did it. And the universe told me so. I didn't want to believe it. You can do anything you set your mind to. I believe you, and I promise you, give it a good try. Give it an honest try. You might be feeling like you can't do it, but that's also a response when it comes to pain, and people might have been projecting onto you. You can't do this, you can't do that. Who's to stop you? If God says you can, are you going to deny him? I say you can. You can deny me all you want. I'm just a fragment of God speaking to you. I'm a stranger to you, and that's okay. I don't blame you. But what I'm saying is, don't miss the forest for the trees. You can't see the bigger picture until you understand the perspective of God. And some of this might actually have to do with love. If you're looking for love, yeah, I'm also hearing karmic reactions, because specifically this Chariot card does talk about going out and seeking it. Now I'm like, now that you've dreamt about it, now that you know it's possible, because the Chariot comes right after the Lovers, which is about both romance but also choice. And like I said at the beginning of this reading, you cannot make an informed decision until all the choices are presented. Who do you know is out there worthy of your love? Are you going to go after them? If you've been trying to manifest love in your life and you're setting it into motion and you choose to love, not just for the sake of it, but because you choose it, because you want to love, whether it hurts you or not is irrelevant. It is a choice you made. Are you going to go after it? Or are you going to stay stuck in the daydream? Are you going to stay stuck with the same person who is hurting you over and over again? Like, I don't see this as a breakup, but some of you might be dealing with an old flame or a partner that didn't allow you the freedom to choose what you wanted. Like, go forth and take it. Like, if you're being restricted in a relationship or even with your parents, it's like sometimes you can't always do it. If you're at home, like in your late teens or 20s, and you're still trying to either work at home and you're having a hard time going out there, sometimes you just gotta make it happen in a new way. Sometimes you do. I hate to say this. When you're old enough to make your own choices, sometimes you do have to defy your parents. Now, don't do this. If it's, I don't like giving this advice out because I know it can be misinterpreted, but if you know, you know. This is only for people who, like, if you want to go out for a career or if you're falling in love with someone, because this is specifically about love. So if you're in love with someone, your parents say you shouldn't be in love with them. you need to make an informed choice. You're old enough to decide for yourself, where are your parents coming from and why? Are they trying to protect you, or do they not want you to grow up and move on? And sadly, there are people out in this world who do not want their children to grow up and move on, because it's safer for parents, especially if they've been hurt before, to take control over either their children or even younger siblings. And I hate to say this, but this is coming through. If you're falling in love with someone or dating someone and you're trying to move on with your life and they're not letting you leave, even if you don't live with them, it's almost like this feeling of, I love someone, but I don't want to defy my family. Like, you have to go with your heart and what the universe is kind of guiding you towards, because your family is not always right. Sometimes it's better to just go with the flow. Okay, I just heard the phrase, you exist, love exists because you do. And that's a phrase that's come up for me a lot when it comes to healing love wounds and dealing with karmic baggage, when it comes to people telling me what I can and cannot do with my life or can and cannot love. And it's time for you to choose you above all else. But if there's someone that you truly love, that you know is good for you, and I keep being told the phrase, this is a trauma response. Your parents have attachment wounds and abandonment wounds, and you might be having some of that too. But I'm getting this feeling like this has to do with a parental figure who was just not wanting to let you go and move on with your life when it comes to love, as well as finances, maybe. My voice got a little bit hoarse, so I'm going to try to clarify this. Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to love, if you have been seeking some sort of guidance or assistance, excuse me while I deal with this. So my voice is getting raspy for like no reason. I think there's something you might be afraid to say and to let go of. And I understand that it's hard to walk away from people or parents, because it doesn't mean that they're bad to you. Sometimes people just don't understand, or they are trying to protect you. This might not be an extreme case of your parents are not good for you and they're being mean or, trying to take control. It could just be a very protective energy trying to keep you from making the wrong decision, especially if you're younger. Because let's just say if you're young and you're trying to fall in love with someone like right out of high school, this could be them trying to, excuse me, I'm getting really flustered. This might be someone trying to protect you from falling in love too quickly and too soon. And if that's the case, that's a lesson you need to learn. Not falling in love with the first person you meet, you need to take the time to choose. So this could be an extreme case of you need to choose you and the ones you love, but this could also be that in this season, you need to be very careful with how quickly you fall in love, especially if you're younger and you've not been in a long-term relationship, because your parents might be trying to protect you from making the same maybe choices they did or the mistakes they did. So just use your discernment, but overall, take the time to get to know someone. This is a time of action rather than dreaming, because something is coming to fruition. This overall spread says not only are you going to get what you want, but you're going to get it in such a way that there's going to be like this victory. You're going to do a victory lap. Not only have you won the marathon, you beat your best record and you're ahead everybody. I know this is a very dramatic case, but this entire spread feels like you've won gold. You're doing another lap. This is a season of like receiving rather than just giving. And one of the warnings when it comes to love is that don't give into the temptation of loving the first person you meet. If you're new to dating or if you're in a relationship with someone, just be very cautious and sure that this is your person before you, strike any commitment. Sorry, wow, okay. So I think I need to end the reading here because I was disrupted really badly. So when it comes to love and your future, just be very careful. That is the one thing I've been warned about. Whatever you because the thing is, of whatever you set your mind on, you will get. So be very careful with what you choose to receive is the main message, and striking a balance between what you want and what you need as well. That's what wanted to come out. But it really is just about understanding the power, the laws of the universe, and manifestation. You are extremely, extremely powerful, but you also have to be very careful because what you wish for is going to come to you. And the song Home by Daughtry is coming up. Be careful what you wish for. You might just get it all, and then some you don't want. So there is some sacrifice that comes with the wishes we make. You will get the love of your life, but make sure it is the love of your life, because when you get them and you have to maintain that relationship, you need to have that balance, set reasonable expectations. And I know it felt like a lecture coming through, and it's like, when it comes to love predictions, I don't like giving lectures, but it literally was like, God is like, come on now, you have to say it. I don't like always saying this, but I have to learn the lesson of Jonah as well. So thank you so much for joining me today in this reading, and I will see you in another.